Am I the a-hole for announcing to my sexist stepfather that I'll not be sharing my college funds with my stepbrother? I, 18 female, found out a couple months ago that I got into my dream school early that happens to be an Ivy League. I was overjoyed and my parents were happy for me too. We're not too well off, but my grandma saved up money for her only granddaughter's college fund, me, which is more than enough to fund my tuition. Now, I have a stepbrother, Damon, 19 male. He took a gap year, not really, and he is going to college too, but he's going to a college less costly than mine. Honestly, he's only going to attend college because of his dad's incessant nagging. So recently, my parents, more like my stepdad, is bugging me about sharing my college funds with Damon. I don't want to, or else I'll have debt after graduation, and it will ruin all my financial planning after college. But last night at dinner was my breaking point when stepdad asked again. I said no. Then he said to my mom, well, anyway, Amy's a girl. Why waste that much money on her college? I completely lost it. I yelled out, you know what, I've had enough. First of all, it is not even your money to decide what to do with it. It's the money my grandma left for my college tuition. Besides, my gender doesn't define my intelligence. I got into an Ivy League, didn't I? Then Damon piped in and said I need to accept he's smarter, with a grin. Now here's where I may have been the a-hole. I said, at least I have plans and ambitions. Unlike Damon, who told everyone he took a gap year when he actually failed, which is true. Stepdad and Damon stormed off and my mom called me an a-hole. So Reddit, am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. It's your money. You actually got into an Ivy League, unlike Damon. And it sounds as if you know enough to not insult someone when you're asking them for a favor. Again, unlike Damon. Your mother is an a-hole too, though. She should have your back. While the stepdad and Damon are like the mustache-twirling villains of this post, the real problem is actually Opie's mom. She should be protecting Opie's future and her college fund. She should be standing up for Opie when her husband and stepson insult her daughter. She should have intervened at Opie's behalf before it got to the point where Opie blew up and responded to their baseless bullying with cold hard facts. And she should never call her daughter an a-hole for standing up for herself. Not the a-hole if it's not obvious. The sexist, stereotypical stepdad and stepbrother are absolutely a-holes, but the mom is an a-hole and a failure of a parent. You would be the a-hole if you gave your grandmother's money to a person she did not intend it for. Did she scrimp and save for all those years for your stepbrother? No. She did it because her greatest wish was for you to go to college debt-free. So do what she wished. Your stepfather is trying to steal your money. He will try to pressure your mother to give it to him. Lock that money down, so only you have access to it. Not the a-hole. First of all, congratulations on getting into a school of your dreams. I'm sorry your mom is such a pushover. She should have stood up for you against those two bullies. It is money for your education and yours only. If your stepdad wanted Damon, or himself, to have less financial burden for his education, he should have done something about that. What did Damon do anyway during his so-called gap year? He should have worked to save some money for his education. But I guess he didn't think about that because he's being made to go to college. Not the a-hole. Quick note, call the bank today. Tell them you need enhanced account protection to protect yourself against a family member attempting to steal your money. Many of the verification questions that a bank would ask to verify your identity are well known to your family members. If this ends up being unnecessary, then no harm, no foul. But when your mom is on board with you having to give money to your stepbrother, you need to protect yourself. Next story. Am I the a-hole for choosing my senior cat over my sister and potentially allowing her to become homeless? I will preface this by saying that my mother treated my sister and I differently. I was always less than, while she could do no wrong. She'd always buy my sister everything she wanted, while I wore her hand-me-downs. I moved out at 18, worked through college, went no contact with mom and low contact with sister, and our paths diverged greatly from there. I now work in a field that pays well, while she is a stay-at-home mom. I guess I never quite got over this, and while I know the main a-hole is my mother, and my sister didn't really know any better, I still fester negative feelings towards both of them. I found Tom in a bag as a newborn kitten. He was the only one still alive, and I raised him over summer break when I was 13. Then, when school started, my mother got rid of him and I had to go through great and extreme lengths to find out where she dumped him. Took me a week to find him, and we've been together ever since. For a few months now, Tom hasn't really been okay, and has been slowly declining. The vet, however, based on the recent blood panel we did, was confident that he still have some life left to live and said that he's by far the healthiest geriatric cat she's seen in a while. Thus, we decided to try out surgery to improve his quality of life, even though he's 21. This surgery comes with a price tag. I'm not in the US, but it's around 3 months worth of minimum wage in my country. It won't set us back much, hardly an inconvenience, but we'll be frugal just in case complications happen. He's scheduled for Monday, fingers crossed. Anyway, my sister dropped by on Sunday, which was strange as we spoken since she messaged me a Merry Christmas gif on Facebook. Looks like her husband jumped heavy onto the NFT bandwagon, and they're kinda broke and a few months behind on mortgage, and asked if I could help out with the payments since they're at risk of becoming homeless. I said I'm sorry she's going through this, but this is not a good time for me either and listed the reasons above. I do not want to ever be in a situation where my cat's life depends on $100 that I cannot afford to pay. I suggested she got a job and maybe downsize/move in with mother while they get back up on their feet. She did not take this well. Called me a C-word and a crazy cat lady that's going to end up alone, plus some other nice words. So I kicked her out. My mother and other relatives have been spamming me through the week for being heartless and caring more about an animal than my own flesh and blood. My husband says I could have just given her some cash to avoid the drama. And he's right, I could have. This is why I feel like I might be the a-hole, because in the end, the main reason I chose not to help is due to my childhood baggage. Not the a-hole. Have you asked the family that has been spamming you how much they are financially contributing towards your sister? Hope the surgery goes well, and wish a speedy recovery for Tom. Not the a-hole, but next time, just tell her no, OP. She doesn't need to know your reasons. And respond to all the relatives, thank you so much for letting me know that I made a wrong choice. I will let my sister know that you'll be catching her up on her bills. Between you and X and Y and Z, she should be able to remain home and not get a job, while also staying in her house. I suggest you all get in contact with each other to figure out what you can each contribute. You truly are amazing people. I would send the same message, with names changed to every one of them. And then, I'd create a chat you can jump out of, including your sister, and say, X, Y, and Z have graciously agreed to pay your bills. These people are truly amazing. I'll just off this chat and let you guys handle it from here. Then, leave and block them all. In the end, the main reason I chose not to help is due to my childhood baggage. It's enough of a reason to me. They treated you like trash, and now do they expect you to run to your sister's help with a smile on your face? Not the a-hole. I wanted to say that depending on the age, the sister might be an innocent here. But based on her unhinged reaction, I doubt it. OP, I'm not sure you did this because of the baggage from your mom. It sounds like you did it because your sister is a jerk. Not the a-hole. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not giving up anything for someone who wasn't willing to give up anything for me? My male 24 parents passed away when I was very young. I have 3 siblings, a sister and 2 brothers. All of them are much older than me. After my parents passed away, I wanted to live with either my sister or my second brother, but both of them made it very clear that they don't want me. I didn't want to go with my oldest brother because he is our half-brother and wasn't close to him, and I lived in another city, away from all of my friends and the rest of our family, but he was the only one who wanted me, so I went with him. Unlike what I thought, my oldest brother is actually awesome, and I had a very good life. I still live with him. My other siblings didn't even bother to call much. This was just a short background that I thought might be relevant. Recently, my second brother lost everything. I don't know nor care about what happened. All I know is he is in a very bad condition. My sister left the country a few years ago, so my oldest brother is the only one who can help him. A few days ago, my oldest brother told us my brother and his family, wife and sons 11 and 17, want to move in with us for a while because they have no other option as his wife doesn't have a family. We live in a 5-bedroom house. My brother's room, my room, his daughter's room, his aunt's room, and our gaming room. So we have the space for them to move in. My brother said he doesn't want to force us to give up our space and wants us to figure out something that works for us. My nephew said he is fine with giving up the gaming room or sharing for a short time, but I said screw them. I'm not sharing or giving up anything for them, but my niece does what I say, so she is on my side. My brother said he is a bit disappointed, but won't force us to do anything. However, my second brother and his wife think we are selfish a-holes. Now for the comments. It is not your house, so are you really in a position to make decisions here? I don't feel like you owe him anything, but you should respect that your elder brother might not share your feelings and it is his house. Influencing a child is an a-hole move. I'm not sure about judgment. Yes, but he specifically mentions he was given the decision. Info, how old was he / what was his life situation when you were orphaned? Was he able to take you in? When he said no, did he say, I'm sorry, I can't, knowing your oldest brother would? Or did he say, no, I don't want you, not knowing what the outcome would be either way? The unknowns here make or break the story. He was 23, but he inherited a lot of money when our parents passed away, so he didn't have any financial problems. He didn't know my oldest brother would take me in. So he was 23 with a child. I think that not taking you in was probably a very mature decision. My oldest brother was 26 with 2 kids. Kicking your brother potentially into the foster care system when you have the financial resources to make it work? That is insanely callous. You're the a-hole, not because of not giving a damn about a brother who clearly didn't give a damn about you. You are the a-hole because you are interfering with your half-brother doing for your other brother exactly what he did for you, helping out when help is needed. As you said, your half-brother is an awesome person and the type who helps family when they need it. I wonder whether half-brother really doesn't want to take them in either, but it's easier on him to let OP look like the bad guy than to say no himself. Half-brother could overrule OP if he chose to do so. Last story. Am I the a-hole for telling sister we can't be roommates because I don't want men I don't know in the hypothetical apartment? I'm 30 and she's 28. My daughter is 6, and I also work from home. I'm a single mom, widow, and I want to get info on one-bedroom apartment I love. My sister tagged along, and in order to get a move-in special, I had to do another tour, and it was the first time she'd toured it. She already has an apartment, but loved the complex I'm moving to. Afterwards, my sister asked if I wanted to be roommates. I don't want a roommate. Keep in mind I've told my family about the apartment, and they all know I'm only looking at one-bedrooms. I want to build my life, and this will be the first time having my own place as a single mom. Honestly, she also isn't dependable financially or time-wise. She also has a history of letting guys she barely knows come to her apartment and give them a key. I'm not judging as that's her choice, but I'm not okay with that all. So I just said reasons that I didn't think would offend her. First, I said no because you can't smoke grass there. She said she would do it on the balcony, and I said you can't because the complex is strict about it. It's a brand new apartment, and quality housing is hard to find here, so I'm not risking anything just so someone can smoke. She then said that she'd just go to a friend's house to smoke, and ask what other reasons do I have. At that point, I had to be direct and say that we can't be roommates because I wouldn't be comfortable with non-related men in the apartment. And she got angry and asked me why. I have a very young daughter. I don't like being around men I don't know, so I only want to live with just my daughter. I want to be independent and have a stable lifestyle for the two of us. I said that I understand if she is comfortable with guys she knows, but I don't know them and will not be comfortable. I would only be okay with our dad, brothers, and a trusted male family friend that would only visit, and I would pay to help with moving, putting furniture together, etc. She was mad, and then said that if it's her place too, then she should be able to bring the guy. Remember? This is a hypothetical apartment, and she knows that I only looked at and only getting a one-bedroom apartment. I told her that I understand, but I don't agree, so that's why I can't live with someone else because I'm very strict about that. She then said whatever, and acted mad towards me. Edit, I should have explained why it's an issue. I'm big on safety and taking precautions. My daughter likes to visit and sometimes sleep the night, and just hang out with her aunt/my sister. I allow it since sometimes I go, and my sister lives alone. If I have to go to my office for a few hours on weekends, she sometimes goes to my sister's place. When my sister told me that she gave a guy her key for a bit, it made me feel uncomfortable, so I nicely suggested that she gets her locks changed. Keep in mind, she told me she knew this guy for maybe 2 to 3 weeks. My mind went to my daughter. What if this guy made a copy of the key and randomly comes over, especially when my daughter's there? When I said that, she got mad and said the guy wouldn't do that. Again, I nicely explained that she doesn't know for sure, and I'm just concerned about her safety. Not the a-hole. Your only mistake was continuing to explain anything to her. No is a complete sentence. You could have followed it with, because I don't want to. Yeah, I should have kept it at that. I thought by explaining it, she'd understand and not think to bring it up again. And you are 100% right to think of your safety and that of your daughter. Your sister can do whatever she wants, and go her. But let's not be naive. Strange men will be left alone without sister in your home, potentially with your child. I had a roommate in college like this once. I woke up 2 times to random guy in the living room demanding I make them breakfast because she had told them I would. I'm pretty assertive and made them leave. She got angry, but I told her if it ever happened again, she would come home to her crap on the lawn and locks changed. I was the leaseholder while she was illegal sub-renter. The office of the building knew this. I had already asked them about this, and they said, yup, they would come and change the locks if she put my safety at risk. A few weeks went by, and her crap ended up on the lawn and we never spoke again. I honestly don't care what she did, but she needed to be escorting her guests at all times. Leaving strangers alone in my home while I was asleep? GTFO. Not the a-hole. Setting boundaries that feel good to you is always a good thing. You're protecting yourself and your daughter physically, emotionally, and financially. People who get mad about boundaries usually don't have good boundaries of their own. Or they're mad about losing access to whatever they were leeching off you. That makes a lot of sense. I have firm boundaries, and she gets mad when I say no for things that she regrettably agrees to do.